Sometimes we just need an easy quilt, something we can put together quickly with fabric we have on hand or simple to cut. Either way, this is going to work for you. You're going to love how simply this goes together. I'm Lea Louise from Inspired Quilting by Lea Louise, and we are going to use strips, just simple strips like this. And first, we're going to sew two together with a common center, and then we're going to add a third on the end. So all our blocks will have this center, which is going to carry a beautiful harmonious look to the quilt, and then you can fill it in with all the colors that you want. Maybe you want to go with a soft color scheme like this one, or go scrappy. It works for any kind of a pattern like that. And I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to make this. I'm Lea Louise from Inspired Quilting by Lea Louise, and you will love how simply this goes together and how quick you'll have a finished quilt. But even better, someone's going to win a free quilt kit of this exact quilt right here. I can't wait to tell you all about it. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We've got more to talk about in just a few minutes. 3. And remember now, you can win this quilt kit. There are a few things you need to do, and that is to watch the entire video, comment on the video and like it, then subscribe to my channel and share my video on your social media so other quilters can see this too. It's a 3-rail, which will make it nice and easy. And oh, look at all this is pre-cut, and I like those nice big chunky blocks. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. I cannot wait to get started. Now, you know what this means? I have two. One for me and one for you. Oh my goodness, we're rhyming today. How silly is that? I do have to show you. This backing is absolutely beautiful. I love the white on white flowers. I'm trying to find a way that you can see. I think you can make that out. But isn't that the prettiest? Oh my goodness, that is going to be so gorgeous. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and open my kit, and we're just going to spread all this out and see just what we're doing. So it's called the Tumbling Tower. And let's get this open and take a peek at what we're going to be doing here. Let me move that fabric out of the way. Oh, this video is being sponsored by the Fabric Hut, and they have sent me a quilt to send to one of you. This beautiful quilt behind me is all wrapped up in this little package, and it gets better. The quilt backing is included too, so it's an entire quilt for you to make. And all you have to do is watch this video, like it, comment, share it with your social media, and if you haven't already, become a subscriber. And then when we connect, I will give you a free quilt. I'll get it in the mail right to you as soon as possible. But I do need you to follow up and make sure you come back and see if you're the winner, because that's going to be announced in a few days. Read the description below the video here, and you'll see all the information, what day the winner is going to be picked. And at that point, you're in. I can't wait for you to maybe win this quilt. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and it's such fun. Not to mention easy. Did I say this is the easiest rag quilt ever? Well, if you don't believe me, try it yourself. That'll convince you. So we have cutting instructions, which means if you get this quilt kit, you can have this pattern to make as many more of these quilts as you want. That's how easy they go together. And look at this. We do the pieces. We have a couple different color groupings. So this means we're going to be doing a lot of chain stitching, and that saves time. Oh, I love it. That's going to be so pretty. So here's our fabrics. Now we have a couple different sizes. Oh, look at this. Let's see. That's our binding, and oh, you know what? I bet this is our binding, and this is the border that goes around the blocks, because I did notice a border here. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to like that, and that helps kind of clean up the edges on a rail fence pattern, so it doesn't look like you're just sort of ending and not going anywhere. That border around there really finishes it off nicely. So what do we have? We have our different colors. Oh, look at these. Oh, there's a lot of pinks in here. I love pinks. They're such a pretty pretty soft color in a quilt. So look at this. Oh, that's going to be fun. Those are some great colors. So I am going to dig into this and see just what we need to do to put it together. It's very minimal. It's just a matter of putting our rectangles together. And because it's all pre-cut, we don't have to worry about trimming. We just sew, snip, and put it all together. And we have a great assembly layout. Yep, see, there's the borders. Oh my gosh, that's going to look wonderful. And what size is this? There we go. It's going to be 67 by 76, so that is a good size quilt. And of course, you just need to provide the batting, which is included in here, but everything else that you need is here. Now, look at this. This is great fun. I like doing this on my quilts that are similar, that you can change them up with color. And here's a coloring page, so you can decide how you're going to lay yours out and get a really awesome finish. So, you know what I find interesting about this pattern is, though it's a rail fence, it's not set up with that rail as the dominant pattern. And I kind of like the idea of them being mixed up throughout. Now, they're rotated because that just gives you the pattern of the rows switching back and forth. But as opposed to having that rail that goes through the entire quilt, I think this is fun. I've not done this before, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. This is so simple. Wait till I show you how quick this will go together. This is going to be quite a quick quilt to make. My goodness, it's going so fast. And what I'm doing is chain piecing everything. So I went through and I did the first pair, and I took the brown and I paired it up with the cream, because cream goes in the middle of every block. And so you can see I chain stitched and did that. And then I went back and added a color on the other side and chain stitch that through the whole piece. And so this is what I have so far. I have my brown fabrics mixed with some of the other pinks in there, and I'm just slowly moving through. I say slowly, but this is really going very fast. But between using the large size blocks, because these are wider than the normal, say, 2.5 inch I would have used, and then having this constant cream color in the center, it just goes very, very quickly. So let me go ahead and keep going. I'll get more pressed, and then when it's time to put it together, I'll check back with you. Just about finished. Check this out. These colors, I really do like how well these pinks and the light browns, and there's another here. This is more of a peachy background, but it just has a touch of that brown. It just carries throughout. I think this all looks wonderful. And as the whole, the big quilt altogether is fabulous. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. But what I do want to show you is the quilt block itself. And it consists of 3 strips. And you can see here as well. And then when we piece our quilt together, which I've already chain stitched this, so this goes vertical, this goes horizontal, and you see how you just alternate, and which is common when you make a rail fence. This is what I would consider a rail fence pattern, but you don't have to worry about matching your rails to create that pattern. I like that. I like that I can just put them together randomly and let the colors all fall as they will. Now, this was a very simple block to make. There were enough cream pieces to do the entire quilt, all the blocks that I needed. And there were only 56 blocks. And you can see these finish at 9 inches, so that goes pretty quick. And so I would just, run through a bunch of them with one color, and then I'd alternate other colors on the opposite side. And in the beginning, I thought, all right, I'm just going to blow through this. Well, do pay attention, because if your cream fabric ends up on the end instead of the middle, this isn't going to fit. Now, I probably could have put it in and got away with it, but luckily there was an extra, some extra strips, and this was excess, because obviously the fabric hut knows that we once in a while make mistakes. But that was only because I wasn't paying attention. So then what I did is I took my strips and I put the cream fabric on top, and I sewed them all. And then I went in and I added the second color. And then that way I was less apt to make that same mistake, which is silly. But well, like I said, I'm doing the chain stitching. When you chain it like this, there are those that like to call it web stitching or sewing your web, and that's because it looks so much like a spider's web with everything pieced together. But I did go through and sew all my strips together first, my rows, and got those sewn. I sewed those in one long fell swoop, and then I'm going through and sewing this together so that I will be finished. Now I want to show you how this looks, and I'll take a larger picture of the whole thing that you can look at. But isn't that pretty? Just how all these colors just work together beautifully. And it's a nice light color quilt, and I appreciate that, and I like it. And then I've got the first border on. Remember we talked about that in the beginning, about the border going on and how that finishes off this edge really nice. So I have it on the two ends, and I'll get the other two sides as I finish my rows. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how this is looking and how well it's going together. And it's a quick quilt. Oh my goodness, it goes very fast because, like I said, each block only has 3 pieces, and you're just sewing straight all the way through. And you'll be amazed at how quick you can make this. And so I have my border on this edge as well. This is the 63-inch side. So that's a pretty good size quilt. And it'll be a beautiful lap quilt. And just think of that in the living room, you know, over your chair or sofa, or at the end of the bed. Oh, in a guest room. Okay, yes, there's a lot we can do with this. Now, please remember, this is a free quilt kit to somebody. And if you get all those 5 steps taken care of, you'll be entered in to win. And all that information is down below the quilt in the description box, explaining exactly what you need to do. And that's the description right below the video. So here we are. This is our finished quilt. I'm afraid it came out a little fuzzy. Sorry about that. Just kind of a bad overcast day, and I wasn't getting very good light, but you can see the layout. You can just see how easily this all goes together. And you've got strips, and they're nice wide strips, and you just sew all these blocks, you put them in, alternating them, you know, turning each other along the way, and you're eliminating any nesting seams, which helps make it go fast. So you see right here, there's a seam this way and this way, but this piece is straight. So those seams you don't have to worry about. And even better, that means you can press these any direction you want, and it simply doesn't matter. And that's the beauty of putting something like this together, when you can just do everything the same way and it's going to work throughout the quilt. And this was a lot of fun to make. I enjoyed it because it was simple, and I enjoyed it because the colors are fun. And when you have really pretty colors that work well together and it goes together simply and fast, it's a great result. I love it. And I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you're going to participate and try and win this quilt. It is such a fun one. You'd really enjoy a quilt kit. Now, if you'd like, we have some discounts below on purchasing this quilt kit, as well as others that are available. And I'll put that link below. And there's also a discount code you can use, so you can certainly check that out. But I just wanted you to see this finished, and I am so happy you joined me today. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it is such a pleasure to have you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.